right, things are sounding good. So let's move on to more challenging things once again. All right, so number one is non-stop playing, non-stop notes, hammer-ons, pull-offs, and slides. So basically, we're working in this 5, 7, 8 here, and the 7, 8, 10, and the 10 or 8, 10, and 12. And then we work back down to the 7, 8, 10 area, slide back into the 5. So just spanning those frets, those notes right there. Every time you pick, it's only when you change strings. Everything else is either a hammer-on, pull-off, or a slide. So really slow. So after you get back down, basically you have that pattern there, right? To complete that pattern, you slide up to the next. Complete that pattern, slide up to the next. Complete that pattern, slide back down to the next, and then slide to the end. So you got that, and then you slide up, and then slide up, slide down, and down. Slide up, slide up, slide down, and down. Here we go. 60, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that picking hand is resting on those lower strings. Move your pick so it's directly over the neck pickup. All right, 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. $180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, number 2. It is time to get rhythmic once again. Every bar is a different rhythm. So for something like this, good idea to learn what the frets are, what the notes are you're going to play without the rhythm. So what we have, slide up there, going from the 3rd bar to the 4th. And slide down for the ending. 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10, 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12, 10, 12, 13, 10, slide to 12, 13, 15, 13, 12, 15, 13, 12, 13, 12, 10, 13, 12, 10, 12, 10, 9, 12, 10, 9, slide. Ooh. Man, I'm screwing up. There we go. Okay, anyway. So once you feel comfortable with the notes you're going to use, then you start applying the rhythm. So these are rhythms that we've already done. Did it with the strumming, single note playing. So if you need to, go ahead and count as you play to help yourself out. Not 100% necessary. It's necessary when you're having trouble playing the right rhythm. So It is helpful to do, but you don't have to do it on this. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That was a terrible, terrible hammer on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and done. All right, 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. $180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. $240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, theory. So what we're going to do is something similar to the thing that you wrote out and practiced. We're going to go through same kind of chord progression stuff we have been doing, but a very special way, very specific way. The first chord you're going to do will be root position, okay? So we got chord number 6. We're in the key of C. So we need that A minor. And that's going to be especially weird for me because I am still not used to seeing the notes while on the low B string. I'm so stuck in the 6th string way. Anyway, so when you go from one chord to the next, if you can share, or if the next chord shares 1 or 2 notes as the previous chord, you have to keep it in the same place. Have to keep it in the same place. So you got your A minor here, right? Next chord is the D minor. All right, so A minor, you have A, C, and E. D minor has D, F, and A, right? So that A note needs to stay in place. So with that being the lowest sounding note, that'll tell you it's a D minor over A. So that would be chord number 2, and that's what you'd put in. All right, so now chord number 1, well, D minor and C major don't share anything. So you really just want to go to whatever is close. There can be some exceptions to that, because sometimes the closest one may not work out for the best in the end. Basically, sometimes if you get to a chord here, you might end up changing your mind as to what you came up with on this one after you go back to the start. Because sometimes maybe like this chord and this chord, like the 3rd chord and the 4th chord in the progression, these chords definitely share notes, but just pretend they don't. So let's say you had this chord and this chord, they didn't share any notes, but this chord did. So going from this chord to this chord, if they don't share any notes, you got options as to where to go over here. But if this chord would share notes with the repeat chord or the resolve chord, then you want to have those two keep the shared notes. I hope that makes sense. As always, let me know if you got questions. But anyway, so you start with that A minor. So A minor to D minor. Well, they both share the A note, so that means we're going to play the D minor like this. And then the 1 chord, the C major. D minor and C major don't share anything, so to me the most logical thing is to just jump down there into that C over G. Speaking of G, next chord is chord number 5, a G chord. They share the G note, so we're just going to have a good old root position G major. And then when you're practicing it, you just doing it the usual arpeggio way, totally fine. If you want to shake it up, you can do that too. That's fine. So that's the goal. So the other thing, if you notice, all those chords are on the same strings. So in this assignment, this little worksheet, when you start on the low B string, all the chords start on the low B string. When you start on the low E string, all the chords start on the low E string. So yeah, we're using those inversions to go from one chord to the next. When notes are shared from one chord to the next, they need to stay in the same spot. I hope that makes sense. If any questions come up, let me know, and I'll see you again in your new videos.